Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Precious and this is Precious Reads, and today I'll be discussing some of my favorite MMF romances. So we're talking menages today. Let's get started. The first book that comes to mind when I think of MMF, I listened to it on audiobook and the audiobook was absolutely fantastic. It was so hot. So I would suggest, first of all, I know not everybody loves audiobooks, but this one, it's a game changer. It's a game changer. Gifting Me to His Best Friend by our favorite smutty, queer, very adventurous author, Katee Robert. Katee, I think this was the first Katee Robert that I read. No, it wasn't. It was the second Katee Robert that I read or listened to. This is a MMF where there's been mutual pining between two men for a very long time, one of whom is married, and his wife has been noticing that the little glances and the looks that he gives to his best friends, and also finds the best friend attractive. And one Christmas they decide to spend some time in a cabin, and when they're in the cabin they try to explore some things happen. It was absolutely amazing, and the spice, of course it's Katee Robert, so the spice is going to be out of this world, amazing, but just, yeah, it was phenomenal, and it was what started my little journey into the MMF world. Okay, my next recommendation is Freefall by Sarah Kate. Sarah Kate is a new to me author. I've just started reading her books maybe a month or two ago, and I've loved every single one of her books. This book is part of a duology. It is the Wild Boys duology. In the first book we follow what we thought was going to be an MFM, and that's a menage that I don't particularly like. I like when the swords cross, as Lillian Locke says. And in this one we follow I think his name was Emerson and his son, and they fall in love with this girl who's a ballerina, and then it falls apart because she's actually really into his father. And then he finds himself in the second book. He goes to, I think, Amsterdam, and he spends his time with Emerson. His dad's name is not Emerson, and he spends some time with Emerson, and they have this like whirlwind romance, but he's also like questioning what is his sexuality. Is he straight? Is he bi? Or is it just this person that he's really attracted to? He destroys that relationship and comes back home, and when he moves back home, he becomes really close with Zara from the previous book's friend, who's also a ballerina, and then they start something, but he's still handling all of this resentment. I thought the MMF was really great. The smut was amazing. I didn't like Nash, who is like from the previous book, because he was very aggressive, but I think that it worked. And they just needed the menage to come together to find like a stronger alpha in Emerson who would ground Nash. And so yeah, this one was pretty good. It's pretty dark, so be aware, trigger warnings, but I did really enjoy it. And then Give Me More by Sarah Kate, because my Sarah Kate's like marathon that I've been doing in the past couple of months, Give Me More was just released this month in June, and what did I expect? Sarah Kate knocking it out of the park again. This is an MMF again. It's pining over my best friend for a very long time. Drake is more of a sexually fluid or person, and his friend Hunter is not so much. He thinks he's found his perfect partner, and they're married and they're living the life, but he's also has always had his eye on Drake, his best friend. And so he's working in the Salacious Players Club, and he's always thought that he doesn't have a kink, and then he decides, oh wait, maybe I do have a kink. Maybe I do love watching my wife with my best friend. And then he's like, yeah, he wants to be amongst it. So yeah, that was fun. That was hilarious. It was painful. He had to deal with a lot of previous trauma. He had to come to realization that about his sexuality. He had to like just release all the tension that he was holding in. This was a really, really good time. And if you haven't read any Sarah Kate, please do yourself a favor. Please do yourself a favor and try this out. Okay, the next one is also another Katie Robert, Learn My Lesson by Katie Robert. It's part of her like Disney villains series, and this one has Meg, Hercules, and Hades. Hercules is like this small town sweet kind of boy. Hades is Hades, and Meg is with Hades, and they're trying to lure Hercules for some reason. There's a bigger plot in the series, but then they fall in love, and Hercules is more the sweet tender guy, and Hades is like the alpha, and Meg is like the perfect in between, like filler for both of them. This was absolutely good, and in Katie Robert fashion, it was super smutty, it was short, and it was like amazing from beginning to end. Then my final, this one I hadn't recommended in a long time, and that is Theirs for the Night by Katie Robert. It's also it's another series of hers, but this is like a royal bodyguard romance. I know, royal. I love royal romances. And this one is a bodyguard and the prince come into a bar and they meet the girl. She doesn't know it's her birthday, and she just wants to let loose, and she ends up spending the night with both of them and has an amazing night. And at the end of the first book, she finds out who they actually are, and the series starts there and it goes on, and it was really, really good. I didn't finish the series because honestly I forgot about it, but yeah, I will continue that one because I particularly don't like when series follow one couple, or trouble or menage, but maybe I'll try with this one. Okay, so those were my recommendations for MMF. I'm gonna keep it to 5 because, like, for my sanity, going through my backlist of things that I've read, and also menages are new to me. I started reading MMF like maybe not even a year ago, maybe less than a year ago, because I got amazing recommendations from Lillian Locke. If you're on TikTok, Lillian Locke has amazing recommendations, smutty recommendations, and that's where I got menages from. And let's just add one more book, and it is a Lillian Locke book. It is called Three of Hearts. Three of Hearts is a menage by her that I've read. That's also one of my favorites. I just feel like I always talk about it, so I didn't put it on this list. But yeah, those are my 6 MMFs. If you're new to the genre, try it out. Try like the softer ones, because sometimes you don't really need dark all the time. And Three of Hearts is a example of one, and as well as Theirs for the Night by Katie Roberts. And if you're looking for more adventurous reading suggestions, I would suggest reading Lillian Locke, Katie Robert, and who else? Sarah Kate, because she does it all. Especially her series, The Salacious Players Club. That one was amazing because it deals with different like kinks, first of all, and secondly, there are deeper storylines that affect the characters in various ways, and she handles that super smuttiness, but also healing from trauma in a very like respectful and entertaining way, so you as a reader are always glued. Anyway, those are my recs for my MMF books. If you liked any of these recommendations, or if you have any recommendations for me, please put them in the comment section below, and I will see you next time. Bye.